Good morning, students. I'm your geography teacher. So, today, this is a continuation of the last video. So, there we discuss about the North Pole, South Pole, and North Pole and South Pole, its importance. Okay. So, today we are going to discuss how the North Pole and South Pole are different. Okay, one by one, we have to discuss that the what is the all the you can say the magnetic north. Okay, means that there are three norths. So somehow you can say that how can you say that is the three norths. Okay, three norths you can say there's a one is true north. Okay, true north, that is also known as a geographic north. One is considered it is the grid north. Okay, grid north. Okay, and another, perhaps you know, that is called the magnetic north. Okay, so what is true north? One by one, what is a grid north, and what is magnetic north? That we discuss one by one. First thing, what is true north? It is the point at which the Earth rotates which we call the North Pole. So that is also known as it is called the true north. I mean, on the basis of this axis. So firstly, we have to know what is the axis, Earth axis. Earth axis is an imaginary line which is passes through middle of India, and on the basis of this line, the Earth, you can see, the rotates. Okay, Earth rotates. So this is the true north. Another is, you can say, the grid north. As the Earth is a sphere, it is not easy to make a flat map. So that's why what happened? The north on the grid is in a slightly different in the direction of the each map. So there are some difference between the true north and the grid north. And another, you can say, that is the magnetic north. Somehow you can see that there I already mentioned, that is the magnetic north. So magnetic north and the north pole, the position is not, you can see, the same. This is not a same point. This is what we compass, you can say, the point to. Your compass needle is a magnetic that lines itself up with the earth magnetic fields. Magnetic north is in, you can see, in a different place of the rotation point. So rotation, wherever the rotation, that the axis, on the axis earth is rotates, but that is fully different from the magnetic north. So one point, you can say, the magnetic pole and magnetic north, that is the fully different. Okay, the magnetic north moves slightly in the air, so magnetic north always move from here. Okay, so that thing. Second thing, somehow you can know, that is, so these are the three: true north, magnetic north, and another, you can say, the grid north. So that's three norths we discussed. Then another thing, that is the longitude. So previously we discussed about the latitudes. So latitudes divides the earth into three parts: torrid zone, you can see, the temperate zone, and the frigid zone. Above this frigid zone, torrid zone, north torrid zone, south torrid zone, north temperate zone, south temperate zone, and you can say the north frigid zone and south frigid zone. We already discussed about a lot about this, and now the term is the longitudes. Actually, longitudes, you can see that is also imaginary line which is passes through North Pole to South Pole. What I am telling? North Pole to South Pole. So lines of longitude, somehow lines of longitudes are also known as a meridians of longitudes. This is known as a meridian of longitudes. Okay, lines of longitudes follow the north to south direction, from the north to south. So this line is known as the, you can see, the line of longitude. Line of longitudes, unlike is the line of latitudes, do not have the same distance from the each other. So perhaps you know, that is the longitude, latitudes, that is the differ from the 1 kilometer distance, 1 degree. A line of longitudes measure distance from the east to west. So first one, line of latitudes that differ, you can say that can be a distance can be measured from north to south, but it's, you can see, the longitudes that differ, are, you can see, the methods the distance from east to west, means one country which are located in the eastern hemisphere or the western hemisphere. Okay, that thing we can. So line of longitudes also are the farthest apart from the equator. So that is one of the farthest part, and lines of longitudes intersect. You can see the north pole and the south pole. Lines of longitudes cross the equator at the right angle. So if you take example, this is, you can say, the longitudes and this is the latitudes. Is this cross in the right angle? Okay, right angle means 90 degree. Okay, one line. So equator, and you can say the longitudes, latitudes and longitudes. Lines of longitudes are equal in the length. Somehow we previously discussed as a, if you move towards the north pole or the south pole, the length, or the, you can say, the length of the latitudes decrease. Okay, and the longest one, latitudes are the great circle, that is known as the equator. But it is, you can say that if you say that the longitudes are equal in length, a line of longitudes are the halves of the half of the great circle. So great circle, what is the great circle? 0 degree, that is known as the great circle, means the 0 degree means the equator, that is the great circle, and this is always half of the great circle. Some another fact you can discuss over here: 0 degree line longitude, it is known as the prime meridian, which is also meridian of the Greenwich. Okay, so 0 degree east to west, this line is known as the equator. 0 degree, you can say the north to south line, this is known as the meridians or the prime meridian. This is called the prime meridian. Prime meridian or the meridian, or you can say the meridian of the Greenwich, passes through at the Greenwich in England. Greenwich in England. And to the east, the earth is divided into 0 to 180 degree east. Means if you move to the 0 degree prime meridian, so 180 east means the 180 longitudes you can find over there. If you move towards the western side, so that time you can get the 180 against the line. Okay, also line. So total 360 longitudes you can find over there. So longitude, latitudes we can find 90 in the northern hemisphere, 90 in the southern hemisphere, and prime meridian, which are 0 degree north to south line, that is also, you can see the divide the earth into equal two parts, that is the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. Eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. In the eastern side there are 180 longitudes, and the western side there is also, you can say, the what, that is the western side 180 longitudes. So into actually, if you want to discuss the, you can say, the logically, so 180 degree east and 180 degree west, that is only one line. That line is considered as a international date line, that is called the IDL. Line of is a line of longitude located at the 180 east or west of the prime meridian. It demarcates one calendar day, means that if you go to the eastern side, one day you are gain, or if you go to western side, western of the international line, so one day decrease. Okay, so that thing should be considered. Then line of latitudes and longitudes, so there are some difference. Somehow you can know that the latitudes and longitudes distance we have to study. Athens is the capital and is the largest city of the Greece. It dominates the, you can say, the Attic region. At is one of the world oldest city, which is recorded the historical spanning, you can see, the 3,400 years back. So there you can see the latitudes and longitudes already given. Okay, and the Athens already also given. Here you can see the another Athens city, that is one of the cities, that is also given. Okay, so there latitudes and longitudes also given. Where in the world is Athens? So one of the example you have given, the how the latitudes and longitudes is demarcated over that area, means the Athens. Okay, so this thing we have to study. Next come to which we consider one goes first. So first thing you consider, when we deciding that the way of which goes first, means the latitudes or the longitudes. I think alphabetically, first thing is the latitudes, then the longitudes. Both begins with the letter L, but you can say the look at the you can say look at the second letter, that is the longitudes. Okay, means the long, L-O. So A comes before the O, so that's why in the alphabet. So therefore when we down, so latitudes coordinates are the written first, then you can write the longitudes. Okay, so first you have to mention the longitudes, means these latitudes, after that the longitudes. Okay, so in this way you have to, so intersection of a latitudes a line and a longitudes line allows to us precisely pinpoint and locate the one specific place. Means when this latitudes, means this line latitudes and this side longitude, so the one intersecting point will be there, so that is the exact location of that area. Okay, so in difference, then the lines of longitudes, the prime meridians and the international deadline. So prime meridian, so 0 degree line is considered as the 0 degree line of longitude, that is the prime meridian, and 0 degree north to south, that is known as the what, that is known as the longitudes, or 0 degree longitude, that is the equator. Okay, the equator, the prime meridian is the starting point from the measuring distance with the east and west around the earth. Okay, east and west. So prime meridian divide the earth into eastern and western hemisphere. Prime meridian is arbitrary and it is the longitude and meridian lines could be chosen. US president, you can say the Chester Arthur, at an international convention, and with the representative from the 24 countries agreeing to pick, you can say the what, the to pick the single line standard meridian and choose the longitude meridian should be passed through in the Royal Observatory in that Greenwich, England. Who decided this? US President Chester Arthur. Okay, so Greenwich Mean Time meridian means the, that is the official international started in 1884. So that is the story of the longitudes, and you can say the time meridian also help establish the international date line. Okay, international date line, that is the 180-degree east and 180-degree west. This line is considered international date line. Only one line it is. Okay. So when passing through the international date line, you either add a day or going west, the subtract the day. So eastern side, if you come to, this is the prime meridian. Okay, means sorry, international ideal international date line. If you go to eastern side, one day you gain. If you go eastern side, you lose. You a day subtract. Okay, that thing should be considered. Okay. Then come to the prime meridian international date line divide the Earth into eastern and western hemisphere. We already discussed. Equator divide the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. We already discussed this thing. And you can see the eastern hemisphere is east of the prime meridian and west of the international date line. Asia, Australia, and most of the African countries which are located in the eastern hemisphere, and the western hemisphere, it is the prime meridian, that is the east of the international date line. So one by one, so UTC international, you can say the divergence, that these are the some points you can memorize or not. It is depends up to you. Then you can say that this is the one of the line. Perhaps you can see over the Royal Observatory at Greenwich, England. Okay, a brass strip mark 0 degrees longitude. So that is mentioned. So this is the international prime meridian line. Okay, 24 hour, it is the GMT, it is showing. Okay, GMT, so this is also a prime meridian calculation. Then another, the GMT means the Greenwich Mean Time, that is, it is the time zones on the basis of we discussed. So these are not very important. First you have to only, you have to memorize over there, that is the GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. Okay, Greenwich Mean Time. So Greenwich Mean Time means the how much you are eastern side and how much you are western side. If you go to the eastern side, means the Greenwich Mean Time, so that time you will add it the day. If you go to the western side, that time you subtract the day. So India is, we are lucky that we are the 5 hour 30 minutes, 5 hour 30 minutes average from the Greenwich Mean Time. Okay, so this is for the video. Okay, so this is for the all today.